I am not a genius. In fact, by many accounts, I am something of a dumbass. Yet I've still managed to make a full-time income on the internet doing pretty much whatever I want for the last 7 years. This is not a video to bash dropshipping or bash SMMA or bash cold email agency marketing because look, every single thing works, but I think when we listen to internet gurus kind of present their pitch that one of these things is the golden ticket that's going to free you from poverty and make you feel fulfilled in every area of your life, I want to add some nuance because I don't think that's actually the case. Whether you choose SMMA, whether you choose dropshipping, whether you choose to start some other kind of e-com agency, every single vehicle is going to work if you do the work. But the reality is there are 3 pillars that create what is called a full stack entrepreneur. And a full stack entrepreneur is what you will become if you want to succeed at any of these things. I have tried every vehicle in the past. I have had my own dropshipping company. I have had my own SMMA agency. And actually the SMMA agency made me a good amount of money, but I burned out because I didn't really know what I was doing and I didn't understand the concept of longevity in learning how to become the best version of myself that I ultimately needed to be in order to succeed at this business. I made a video in the past talking about what I do now, but right now I am primarily a health and fitness coach. I've done a good amount of consulting for other businesses, primarily marketing related, and using the exact same skills that I've used to build these other businesses, I do dog sitting almost full time, which allows me to live in excellent places and get paid to do it. This is not a video teaching you how to become an expert dog sitter, but what I am saying is that I had this element of my life that is allowing me to live in properties that would otherwise be, $6,000 or $7,000 a month, and I actually get paid to live there and do very little work. Overall, what I'm saying is I'm not necessarily following a traditional path, but I am using the traditional skills that nobody tells you to focus on specifically in order to become successful at damn near anything that I want to be successful at, to make money doing damn near anything I want to make money doing. And to me, this is really the true basis of freedom, that I'm able to create the lifestyle that I want by putting in the amount of effort that I want and working from where I want to work. Whether your goal is just to make $100,000 a year doing very little work and doing essentially whatever you want, or you want to build an enterprise that you can scale to multiple millions of dollars a year, you can use these exact same principles, and in fact, you have to use these exact same principles. What I'm hoping I can do with this video is give you some of the basic principles that you need to succeed at these things, and also keep it objective. I don't want this to just be some kind of intangible theory video. I want you to realize that right now you have marketable skills, you have offers that you can create just based on what you know right now and what you're good at, and not feel like, damn, I really want to become financially independent, but I don't necessarily want to start an Amazon store. If you do, that's awesome. And again, every single one of these vehicles works, so don't let me try to talk you out of something. But the world doesn't really need more Amazon sellers, and that's probably not what you actually want to do. You have skills, you have talents, you have values, and you just need to figure out how to become a full stack entrepreneur so you can go out and sell those things. Because honestly, how much more fulfilling would it be to have your own business offering something that you're really, really good at and doesn't feel like it takes you any effort to do? I mean, obviously it still takes some effort, but you actually want to show up and do it. That's where longevity comes from, right? And whether it's time wealth that you want to create or massive financial wealth that you want to create, you're much more likely to create it from a place of flow and actual passion. So if I was starting all over from square one, here's what I would do to make 100 grand a year doing whatever I want. First things first, I have to understand what the full stack is. I learned this from Alex Becker on one of his older videos, but essentially a full stack entrepreneur is somebody that has mastered marketing, sales, and product or service delivery. Every single one of these pillars is infinite in its potential. Marketing is just about how you get your message in front of people, how they actually find out what you do. Sales is the process of convincing people that your solution is the best solution in the marketplace. And then delivery is just making sure that you're actually fulfilling on the promise, making sure that the product is being delivered, making sure that the service is being fulfilled. Let's start out with the all-important offer, because the offer is really the quintessential piece that makes everything else in the puzzle make sense. The offer is the person that has the problem and then the solution that you are offering to solve that problem. To make this actionable for yourself, I want you to write out the version of the person that you think you could help the most. Who is this person? What are their problems? And then what is the solution that they ultimately want to have in their life? What is the goal that they want to achieve? You can start out even simpler than that. Just write out a list of your interests, write out a list of your goals, write out a list of your problems, and then see if you can start to map out the solution to those problems. As you do that for yourself, you might start to create your dream business in your head. If any of you watch Dan Koh's videos, this is Dan Koh's advice essentially on how to build the perfect business. It's to solve your own problems. But you can also map this out for your dream client. Your dream client is often the younger insecure version of yourself, or the less aware version of yourself. The version of yourself that has not yet solved the problems that you have already solved right now. So map out, what are their problems? What are the goals that they want to become good at? Then once you've developed a pretty comprehensive list, go ahead and map out an ideal offer. The offer would be something like, I help XYZ person become XYZ without having to X, Y, and Z, or by doing X, Y, and Z. So I wrote out what I would consider to be my own example, right? Which is, I help young professionals become mentally and physically confident by leveraging a plant-based diet, using simple daily workouts and daily mindset practices that make the self-development process feel flow-based. I'm sure some business coaches would still be like, that's a little too ambiguous. And so I would recommend trying to rewrite this out more and more so it becomes more and more objective. Again, this is just going to help you become laser focused on who you're helping and how you're helping them. Now you can pretty much take this, even though it's in absolute prototype mode, and immediately take it into the first phase, which is marketing. I know marketing and sales often have a negative connotation behind them, but the reality is that marketing is just getting your message in front of people, and sales is just helping a person come to the decision that they need to come to. The real question is the ethics of how you conduct yourself within these things, and it's just about being non-needy and non-pushy. Not super clickbaity, not obviously slimy, just getting your message in front of people and just helping them come to the decision. So for marketing, all you're gonna do is pick a channel that you want to become proficient at. At the beginning of my journey, I kind of made the mistake of, trying to fill up every single cup, like YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, everything. I don't really recommend that you do that. I recommend that you pick one thing and try to make great content for that particular channel every single day. For me right now, I'm sort of trying to come back to YouTube as my primary thing, and it's because I don't really feel like I add enough value with the short form content areas, but that doesn't mean that you feel the same way, or that doesn't mean that you can't add value that way. People can still fall in love with your brand through Instagram Reels or TikTok videos. In fact, most of my success at this point has been on TikTok. The point though is that you need to make consistent content so that you're getting your message out there, right? So that you're adding value for free. It's one of the best ways both to spread your message, but also to create connections. The modern era is all about non-needy networking. Social media is one of the best ways to connect with people from all over the world that are interested in your specific offer. So what I recommend is pick a channel, right? Try to become consistent with that channel, whether it's every single day or at least every single week, and just monitor how you're doing, right? Monitor how it feels to make the content, how you think the quality of your content is, and just focus on improving it over the long term. So many people will talk about the tips and tricks like hashtags, proper titles, thumbnails, that kind of thing. Until you're consistent, until you are consistently putting out content and trying to actively make it better on a regular basis, you're never going to be able to implement all of the little tips and tricks if you're not showing up and actually being consistent and having the opportunity to implement those tips and tricks. And really, you'll find that at the end of the day, it's just about the quality of your content. It's just about whether people actually find the content valuable. Mr. Beast has a great saying where he's like, every time you tell yourself, oh, the algorithm didn't like that, just replace the word algorithm with audience. The algorithm didn't like it? No, the audience didn't like it. They didn't find it valuable. And the only way you're going to get better is just by committing yourself to being consistent. Like, don't ask yourself like why the first video was a flop or why the second video was a flop. Ask yourself how you feel about the first 100 videos. Just focus on trying to get to that first 100 videos or blog posts or articles, whatever it is that you want to put out. So step one is just getting good at being consistent with your marketing, right? Trying to understand the people that are viewing your content, right? Understand their psychology, their desires, their fears. Don't overcomplicate this, right? Just focus on getting consistent. Just focus on trying to create better and better quality information. And you're going to do this by showing up every single day and making content. That is the only key here, right? Just try to be consistent, show up, reflect on what you do. Half of the results that I've ever had in my life have just come from consistently showing up. That's it. The second step is sales, and sales is all about conversations. Drill this into your brain, right? The fastest path to cash is conversations. Good, consistent marketing is how you're going to maximize how many conversations you have. Sales is just having those conversations, right? Understanding the desires, the fears of your ideal clients. I would say that once you really understand what your offer is, right? Understanding what the value that you're going to deliver somebody that signs up to work with you is, you can start to maximize how many conversations you're having. And I promise you, as somebody that has spent tens of thousands of dollars on coaching programs for business, that kind of thing, you learn so much more from your ideal clients, right? Just having the conversations, figuring out what it is that they desire. And then the sales process across the board is just helping a person realize that your offer is the best offer and it's worth the money. Whether you're selling a product, whether you're selling like a hoodie or a video game or a weight loss course, whether you're selling a pressure washing service, whether you're selling, long-term fitness coaching like I do right now. The difference between somebody that is a consultant and is legitimately delivering value versus somebody that is a sleazy salesman is the understanding that your product or service is genuinely valuable. A lot of people in the sales community talk about tactics. They talk about like having the sales script. Look, at the end of the day, like you can twist somebody's arm into making a decision, but the way that you get somebody to naturally decide that, hey, they really want to do this is by showing them that it's valuable enough, by really believing in the offer, really believing in the service, and then understanding that every conversation you're having, you are gathering data. You're never going to say the right words. You're never going to have the right script for a product or service that just sucks. And you see this all the time. People are like, man, I really want to get into entrepreneurship. And so they start like a drop shipping store or they start some kind of SMMA business. And in the very first steps, right, you're probably not going to be perfect. You're probably not going to be very good at what you're doing, but it's about gathering that feedback data for yourself. And so if over time you are consistently noticing that you're trying to like twist people's arm and like take shortcuts, find the best script to sell what you're selling, genuinely ask yourself, is this a good product or service? Do not be afraid if your subconscious mind is telling you like, nah, this sucks, this is dumb, I would personally never buy this. It's a great indication if you're making a sales page and you're creating like a fake authority, like a fake doctor or somebody that endorsed your product. You're making up testimonials. In general, if you know your stuff sucks, right? Number one, you're gonna get better as you continue. Number two, you could also start by working under somebody that is more of an expert than you are right now. But finally, understand that so many people try to go the route of like, building funnels and running ads and like trying to make these perfect sales pages, when at the end of the day, if you're actually good at something, if you're actually passionate about something, just get on the internet and start talking about it and start having conversations with the people that comment on your stuff. Have conversations even with the people that just like your photos. Because the vast majority of people, to a personal message, they will respond, and you will get so much valuable information from having a conversation with that person. This ties into the last pillar, which is, actually creating a valuable product, because it's the exact same process. Every single person that signs up with you, have conversations with them, learn about their fears, learn about their desires, learn about what they like and don't like about your product or service. Because the best marketing is raving fans. It's raving testimonials of people that think that your shit is just awesome. And the only way that you're going to get there is by having personal connections with people and actually adding value to those people's lives, no matter what it takes. I want you to walk away from this video with specific steps to take. And I've already laid out these specific steps, but I want you to think about this from two different perspectives. Number one, if you're a beginner and 0 to the first year of your entrepreneurial journey and you're still looking to make some additional traction, I would ask you, how are you using social media? Are you using social media at all? If you're not using social media at all, you need to start. Right now, commit to a particular platform and then make the commitment to yourself that you're going to post every single day for the next year. This is how you're going to get the most information. This is how you're going to start to master your schedule, make your day flow for an entrepreneur, and it's going to help you avoid the most dangerous trap in entrepreneurship, which is the woman in the red dress, or the infinite abundance of shiny objects, right? This idea that the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence, right? And the other opportunity, things are always easier. Alex Hormozi has this graph that he refers to all the time called the emotional cycles of change. It's sort of a graph that looks like this, right? It's point here, and then there's a valley that it dips into, and there's a higher point over here. It's the idea that the vehicle is super awesome, right? Amazon affiliate or SMMA, like the grass is greener in that area over there. You're gonna make a ton of money. It's super awesome for everybody that does it. What then happens as you begin the journey is you dip into uninformed pessimism. You realize, man, this shit is hard. I actually have to do all this work, and maybe this isn't gonna be as flow-based or as easy as I thought. You then get to the bottom, which is called the valley of despair. Like you've been trying, things are not working. You realize that this is gonna be a struggle, a challenge, and you have no idea if you're actually going to be able to succeed. The line at the bottom is time. Most people get through the first 3 steps and then they quit. They start over again. Now they're standing in the grass, they realize there's shit everywhere, and then they look across the fence to another green grassy area and they think, oh man, there's no shit over there though. And so they just go back to square one, and they do that cycle over and over and over again with every single vehicle. They try Amazon FBA, they try SMMA, they try starting their own dropshipping store. Every single one seems great at first, but then they actually get into it and start it, and it's fucking difficult. But after stage 3 is what's called informed optimism. It's where you start to really understand the process, you start to develop skills, and you realize just by soldiering on, right? Just by staying committed, you will learn more, you will become more proficient, more skilled, you'll have more endurance, and you'll reach stage 5, which is success and fulfillment. For every single one of us, we have to realize that challenge is inherent to life. Struggle is inherent to the hero's journey. Most people remain married to an employer for their entire lives because it creates a sense of stability. It creates that sense of, things are always going to be somewhat secure, which is not even true, right? Your security is entirely up to the women of your employer. The bottom line is you have to figure out how to persist. And so if you're at square one, I highly recommend just spend your time mapping out offers, right? Constantly writing out like who are you serving, what are the problems that they're facing, what are their goals, and then creating solutions to those things, creating solutions to those problems, creating solutions to, whatever it is that they're trying to achieve. And then just making content regularly, solving those problems, right? Speaking to their problems, speaking to their desires, and doing that on a daily basis, trying to stay that consistent with it. That's not to say that you always forever have to be making daily content. I mean, you can kind of ratchet it back. Some people make YouTube videos every single week and they're still, at millions of followers. Like Mr. Beast, some of those videos take months to make. And so he's not necessarily putting out a video every single day. But that daily schedule is going to help you build that consistency. And again, over time, consistency is really the biggest key. For those of you that are a little bit further along, I'm talking like 1 year plus, and you're not really feeling like you're getting the results that you want, I encourage you to prioritize conversations. Try to go out and have more conversations. One thing that really helped me was to build out a survey that I gave to my past clients, and then I built out another survey that I gave to the people that are following me in my audience across social media. And it was essentially just asking, what kind of content do I make that really serves you? For my clients, it was like, what was the best outcome that you got from my programs? What actually attracted you to signing up on, in my program in the first place? And again, just having more conversations. I mean, obviously those conversations are giving me great feedback that I can use to make better content, right? Author better offers, but it also creates an opportunity to potentially sign up a new client. I think a lot of us have a tendency to operate from what we want our brand to be or what we think our brand should be, when realistically the people that should be directing our brand are the people that we are supporting, right? The people that are getting value from our stuff. The actionable advice here is to use two-step posts. So two-step posts are essentially where you offer some value and then somewhere in the post you say, and by the way, if you want this freebie or you want this resource, drop a comment below and I will send it to you. When they leave the comment or they send you a direct message, you just start to have a conversation about the situation they're in. And again, asking them these questions like, what are your goals? What are your biggest challenges? I know it's very easy to feel like, hey, VSLs or running ads or, building this perfect funnel. That's what I really need to do. I don't have that thing yet. And look, if you have a social media that's super engaged, you have a ton of followers, you're getting tons of comments, tons of likes all the time, you might be right. You just need a new presentation of your offer. But that's what it is, right? It's the presentation of the offer. It's not this super complicated new set of tools that you just don't have yet. Because at the end of the day, just having some little phrase in your profile that says DM me for help, that's going to work if people actually believe that you can help them. And the only way that you're going to communicate that is by communicating that. And the only way you're going to know how to communicate that is by asking them, what do I need to change in order to communicate that? But look, it's by being authentic. It's by genuinely showing up and showing people, hey, I want to help you. That's how I built my fitness business. That's how I built my digital marketing agency when I had it. That's how I consistently get people reaching out to me and asking me if I want to stay in their house and do basically nothing for their dogs while they go off and have vacation and I'm chilling in this awesome house. Over time, the compounding of these skills, your skills in marketing, sales, and product delivery, this is what's going to allow you to scale. But I think so many of us are trying to jump the gun and find this perfect vehicle that's going to transform everything for ourselves, when realistically we need to take a step back and ask, do I know what I'm doing? Do I know what problems I'm solving? Do I know who I'm helping and how I'm helping them? And then am I consistently gathering the feedback by having conversations and listening to my target audience, listening to my customers? Number one, this is how you build a business doing literally anything, literally any skill or any value that you can add to the world. This is how you build a business out of it. And then once you are consistently making dollars from that business, how you then scale that business to offer more products and services to more people. So I hope this was helpful. Drop a comment. Let me know if you have any questions. I don't really offer any product or service around this particular thing. If you do want coaching around building a business, a small business, scaling your business, you can drop me a comment here. You can shoot me an email, zach@veganstrongfit.com. Just like my fitness coaching, I am 100% willing to offer you a consultation on this stuff for absolutely free. You don't have to pay me just to figure out what the hell you're doing. And if you do want long-term accountability, we can totally talk about that. And I promise you, it's probably going to be way more affordable than what most of these business coaches are offering right now. Not that paying for things is bad. I highly recommend investing in yourself and paying for people that you look up to. But my purpose here is really just to help you as best I can. And I want to grow my YouTube channel, so you could trade me by subscribing to that channel, hitting that like button, hitting that little notification bell so you know when my videos come out. I'll leave you with this. You got this, right? So much love. Namaste. Talk to you guys later.